Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is Raghav and we are here to discuss what's the difference between BA LLB and BBA LLB. Most of the students, they pursue CLAT and then they pursue the degree of BA LLB. But some NLUs, some colleges, they offer BBA LLB as well. So today we are going to discuss what's the difference in subjects, what's the difference in career opportunities and which one you should choose. So you've got to keep this in mind that once you are making a decision between BA and BBA LLB, you are not choosing between two law degrees, you are choosing between the foundation that you have right now. You will definitely pursue a BA LLB if you are from the humanities background, and some might pursue a BBA LLB if they are from a commerce background. So very few students, they go for the BBA LLB because they think that their commerce background can give them a leverage. Also very important point to note down, law subjects, they are mostly identical between both the degrees. Only the first 2 years they differ meaningfully. So we are going to discuss this in detail in the upcoming slides. So if we talk about the first year curriculum for both BA LLB as well as BBA LLB, for BA LLB the subjects are political science, sociology, history and your economics. So most of these subjects, they have been studied by the humanities students. So that basically gives them a leverage. If we talk about BBA LLB, the core subjects are financial accounting, business management, marketing and organizational behavior. So most of these subjects, they come under a BCom degree as well, a BBA, normal BBA degree as well, and these will be the subjects in your first year if you opt for BBA LLB. The main point to note down is both shift to constitutional law, contract law and criminal law. The three subjects which you need to clear your CLAT exam, both of these subjects, both of these degrees basically eventually shift to these three subjects only. Now let's talk about the NLUs which are offering BBA LLB with the number of seats. So the number of seats for BBA LLB, these are very less. So these are the top 5, 6, 8 NLUs that offer BBA LLB. CNLU Patna has 69 seats. NLU Odisha has 53 seats. NUSRL Ranchi 60 seats. MNLU Nagpur 60. MNLU Aurangabad 60 seats. HPNLU Shimla also offers a BBA LLB with 60 seats. IIU LER Goa 60 seats, NLU Jodhpur 66 and GNLU has a combined intake of 180 across courses. So there is not a demarcation of BA and BBA and GNLU, it has a combined intake of 180. So you might see that the top NLUs, the top 3-4 NLUs, they don't offer BBA LLB. So that's an important point to note down. Total CLAT UG seats are 3900 plus if we talk about the number of NLUs, if we talk about private colleges and category general, basically everything clubs down to 3900 plus seats, but BBA LLB seats amount to a very small fraction of just 10%. So these are around 300-400 seats. Yes, this was the point that I was coming to. NLSIU Bangalore, Nalsar, NLU Delhi, NUJS Kolkata, they don't offer BBA LLB. So that's an important intake, that the best NLUs, the top 3-4 NLUs of India, they don't offer a BBA LLB. So if you've got a good rank in CLAT and you've got a rank under 200, 300 if you're from the general category, or if you're from a reserved category and you're getting admitted in these 4 NLUs, then you should not care about BBA or BA. You should just pursue BA LLB and you will have a very good career. Now let's talk about the placement reality, because everything comes down to placements only. What will be your career options? Where can you go if you pursue a BA or if you pursue a BBA? Let's talk about that. So here we are comparing what law firms care about versus what they do not care about. So law firms do not care about BA versus BBA. They care about your NLU tier. If you are from a tier 1 NLU, be at GNLU, Nalsar, NLS Bangalore, any NLU from the top 5-6 NLUs, you will definitely get a very good package from a tier 1 law firm. Second point is internships. If you've done internships under great lawyers, under very good judges, or if you've done internships in tier 1 law firms, then you also have a very good chance of bagging a good package. Then if we talk about skills, so under skills, basically it comes down to how you are using AI in this era to draft your contracts, basically to make your work more easy. So it comes down to skills as well. What are your mental skills, what are your negotiation skills, and what are your technical skills. Now talking about BBA LLB, what benefit it has is you will be already familiar with corporate language. What are CRMs, what is an HR department, what's the role of each and every department, what does marketing do. So this all will be very familiar to students who are pursuing BBA LLB, since they have marketing, they have organizational behavior, business management, so they have these subjects. That is why they will be more familiar with corporate language. That is the only benefit of pursuing a BBA LLB. Also, we have some myths to break down here. BBA LLB is equal to corporate law, BA LLB is equal to litigation. That is not the case. If you go down to corporate law firms, 70 to 80% of the people who are placed there, they have pursued a BA LLB only. So that's not the case. This is very, very wrong. BA LLB also get top firm placements from AZB, from Khaitan and Khaitan, from SAM, from CAM. So that is definitely not the case that BA LLB students, they pursue litigation and BBA pursue corporate law firms. 80% of the people, they have pursued a BA LLB degree only. Also, BBA LLB students also go into litigation. So anybody can go into litigation if you've got a law degree and you've passed the bar exam, which is the All India Bar exam. Career outcomes, they overlap heavily. As I told you, you cannot have very diverse career options if you're pursuing a BBA LLB. It will be more or less the same only. Now, if we talk about the career mapping, or where does these students tilt more towards, BA LLB students, they go into litigation, they pass the All India Bar exam, or they can go into judiciary once they have 3 years of practice and once they pass the judiciary exam. Or they can go into policy/UPSC, they can become an IAS, an IPS once they clear the UPSC, or they go into research. So these are the main 4 options where you can find most of the BA LLB students. Also add corporate law here. As I told you, 70 to 80% of the students, they get placed into corporate law. Now talking about the BBA LLB students tilt, of course they go into corporate law because they are more familiar with the language, they are more familiar to the domain. They go into mergers and acquisitions, so that comes down to corporate only, but that's more on the CS side. And then they go into finance law, and they can also go down into in-house counsel of major MNCs. Now let's talk about a 3-step breakdown as to which degree you should choose according to your interests, according to your rank, etc. So the first question that should come in your mind once you've attempted the CLAT exam are your cut here. Now the first question that should come into your mind once you've attempted the CLAT exam is your rank allowing a top NLU? If it's a top NLU, if it's a top 10 NLU, or you can say top 8 NLU, tier 1 to tier 1.5, then choose the NLU, ignore the course. Very, very important, because the top 5-6 NLUs, they are not offering BBA LLB. You'll have to pursue BA LLB only. The second step, so let's say your rank is not allowing a degree from a top NLU. The second step should be to judge your preference. If your preference is business interest, if you've pursued commerce in +1 and +2 in 11th and 12th, and if you've got a very, very strong interest, and by very strong I mean that you're 99% sure about pursuing something in mergers, acquisitions, finance later in life, then only you should pursue a BBA LLB. But if you are unsure or if you have pursued humanities, then 90 to 99% of the students will choose a BA LLB. And if you're still unsure after these two steps, then you should pursue a BA LLB degree only, because the career options are more diverse. The flexibility of the corporate law firms is more as compared to your BBA LLB. You should definitely pursue a BA LLB if you're unsure. So this is it from my side. I hope you found the video valuable, and I hope that it helps you make a decision later in life. Your first priority right now should be to clear the CLAT exam, and then these things come later on after you clear the CLAT exam. But still, you should have knowledge about all the domains that are available to you. So these sort of videos, they will help you in making a decision. Thanks for watching. All the best.